Hey everyone! Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the opening chapters of Dreamweaver. We're going to deconstruct how this story so brilliantly builds its entire world, its characters, and its central conflict, all right from chapter 1. So, let's jump right in. Right off the bat, the story hits us with this killer question. Seriously, what if your dreams weren't just dreams? What if they were actual parallel realities? And what if you, were destined to be the king of all the scary parts? This is the core idea, the metaphysical hook that gets the whole thing going. Okay, so here's the lowdown on the cosmology. You've got our world, the normal, everyday human world, and then you have the dream world, where we all go when we fall asleep. But, and this is the important part, the dream world isn't just one big place. It's actually split into two rival kingdoms, the land of happy, joyful dreams and the terrifying realm of nightmares. So what keeps these two realities from crashing into each other? That would be the eternal mirror gate. You can think of it like a cosmic border wall, keeping everything in balance. Its power comes from 7 elemental stones, and if that gate ever weakens, well, that's when the walls between worlds start to break down. Not good.
And this, right here, is where our main character fits in. A Dreamweaver isn't just some superpowered being. They are a living, breathing paradox. The kid of a dreamfolk and the nightmare king. And the crucial thing, the real game changer, is that they aren't bound by the rules of the dream world. This gives them the absolutely unique power to fight nightmares head-on.
So now that we've got the lore down, let's get into our first section, the non-existent hero. We're going to see how the story introduces a main character who is the polar opposite of what you'd expect.
See, in the human world, our hero Zan is, well, he's a nobody. He's poor, gets bullied constantly, and his only coping mechanism is to just fade into the background. He literally calls himself a non-existent being. Think about that. He's a background character in his own life.
But hiding under that invisible kid persona is this absolute bombshell of a secret. And I love how he delivers it with so much sarcasm. He's not just some outcast. He's the son of the ultimate bad guy. Royalty from the realm of terror. The contrast is just bam! So powerful and so immediate.
And this chart just lays it all out perfectly. This is the story's real conflict. It's not just a simple good versus evil thing. It's an internal war. It's two completely opposite identities fighting for control inside one person. This whole duality thing, it's the engine that drives all of his character development.
So, you have this war going on inside him. How does that affect his relationships? Well, in our second section, An Unlikely Alliance, we're going to dig into how Zan's clashing identities really shape his dynamic with the other main character, Ayumi.
When they first meet, their relationship is, well, it's icy. Ayumi is the gorgeous, super serious transfer student who sits next to Zan, the invisible boy, and she completely ignores him, unless, of course, she needs his homework. For Zan, it's love at first sight. For Ayumi, he might as well be a piece of furniture.
And this scene is just a brilliant turning point. After trying and failing over and over to get her attention, Zan just kind of zones out and draws this ridiculous little stick figure fight. It's so goofy and childish, and it's the one thing that finally makes the stone-cold Ayumi just burst out laughing. It's their first real moment, all thanks to a silly drawing. But oh man, their path is anything but a straight line. This timeline just shows you the absolute whiplash of their dynamic. They go from total indifference to this brief, sweet connection, only for it to be completely shattered by a massive betrayal. Turns out, Ayumi is a dream knight and she kills Zan's guardian. And yet, even after that, they're forced into this fragile alliance when Zan uses his powers to save her. It's this constant, chaotic dance between being enemies and allies.
Okay, so we've got our hero and his very complicated ally. But what are they actually fighting? In Section 3, Facing the Nightmares, let's break down the story's main conflict and the really unique way it gets resolved.
The story does something really clever here. It establishes clear, terrifying rules for danger. Dying in the dream world isn't just some random event. It's a 3-step process called the ultimate unconsciousness. First, fear makes you run. Then, running leads to despair. And finally, that despair leads to total paralysis and death. It makes the threat feel so systematic and impossible to escape.
So, here's the key. The way to win isn't to be a better runner or a better fighter in the traditional sense. It's to break the fundamental rule of the game. Faced with this horrible monster, Zan has this incredible moment of clarity.
Instead of running away, he decides to run towards the thing that scares him most.
And the payoff for that act of pure courage is just spectacular. By choosing to face his nightmare, he unlocks his true self, Prince Azon Nightbane. The weak, invisible kid is gone, and in his place is this warrior in shining golden armor holding a legendary sword. It's the perfect visual reward for his internal breakthrough.
All right, this brings us to our final section, the hero's choice. This is where we see how all those pieces, the lore, the characters, the conflict, they all come together and hinge on one single, powerful choice that defines who Zahn is going to be.
Now you gotta remember, Zan's guardian Wayne was murdered by a Dream Knight. So his dying words, the last thing he ever says to Zan, is this desperate warning. Do not trust them. This isn't just some casual advice. It's the final wish from the only family Zan ever had.
And yet, what does Zan do? He makes this unbelievable choice. He decides to join the very same group that murdered his guardian, the group that was supposed to hunt him down. He makes a conscious decision to go against Swanee's warning and to defy his so-called evil destiny, all because he wants to protect people.
And that really brings us to the core theme of the whole story, wrapped up in this one question. Dreamweaver seems to be arguing that your destiny isn't written in your DNA or in some old prophecy. It suggests that true heroism isn't about where you come from. It's forged in the tough, conscious choices you make when everything is on the line.